hang on. Go.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is AD, or Rai, as most people know me. Today I'm going to do three-way pork. First pork dish, sweet tongue pork. That's me using the Pips sweet tongue pork. And this is how that looks like when it is marinated. And now we're gonna fry it off quickly in a typically stir-fry style to create our first pork dish for our taster here today at Taboram Farm Shop, which is obviously in Taboram, which unbeknown to a lot of you all is still in Norwich. So off we go. Let's fry our sweet tongue pork. I'm going to be serving this particular dish here over some couscous. So even though I said three-way pork, what it is I'm going to do three separate pork editions, which I'm then going to combine with my couscous and present it as, if you like, a meal with three versions of pork on it. Should make a brilliant taster. And if you've never seen me cook, now's your chance. Now we should be able to start smelling the flavors of the sweet tongue. I have done this slightly. I used in this particular dish 1 tablespoon, no more than 1 tablespoon, and it was leveled 1 tablespoon of the same sweet tongue pork. So level tablespoon, marinated it sat in the fridge overnight, hence I brought it all nice and ready, and now we start smelling the juicy flavors.
Smells good, guys.
And I'm not a vegetarian, may I say. So I'm not doing so bad for a not vegetarian to cook meat anyway. While that's going on, I want to talk a bit about how to prepare this couscous dish. So what we're going to do with the couscous dish is, very, very gently, I've set my heat on number 2 electric. I've got a bit of oil in my pan. I'll lay it on the stove, and then I will get my various vegetables in the hot fat and then start gently frying them off. Now I'm doing this while in hindsight, unbeknown to every one of you, I've already started off my couscous. My couscous, how did I go about it? Simple. I boiled a kettle of hot water. I had my couscous, put it in a bowl. There. So my couscous is literally ready, believe it or not. All I'm waiting for now is my veg to fry off. Then we will do the combination, concoction, and it will look yahoo, shing sheng, the way only I can. So let's carry on with this pork. While the pork is going, let's go again and start off the vegetation. First, as usual, first rule in any frying, the onions have to go in first in the fat. So in they go. Let's give them a couple of minutes to just slowly saute, as it were. And remember, I'm using the lowest heat for this. So this is on number 2 electric oven style. And slowly we go, while still working away at the sweet tongue pork. Now take a look at that sweet tongue pork. All we've done is just gently frying it. Remember, I'm vegetarian, so I may not exactly know whether it is ready or not, but what I can guarantee is I will make sure it's cooked through. And that, as I say, is the first bit of my pork dish, which when I finish, I will talk about the other 2 dishes that I'll do. After the specific sweet tongue pork, which is that one, I'm going to indulge you in what is called a nyama game pork. Again, I've marinated it, it's sat overnight in the fridge, and this time round I have used the nyama game dry spice seasoning.
Oh my god, that smells so gorgeous.
So, oh, you can smell it now. And that's a lady who's got a bit of a cold, so it's obviously happening. So yeah, then after the sweet tongue pork, as I said, I will be doing the nyama pork, or the game style pork, which then, when I've done with it, I will then tackle my next project, which is a caramel jerk. pork, which is the equivalent, if you like, for all you guys, jerk pork. Lightly spoken, of course, because mine is caramel jerk, don't forget it. And that, in its explicit form, looks like this. There's your jerk seasonings, or caramel jerk seasoning, as the case may be. All these spices, by the way, you know, they're additive spices, and of course, you know, I'm AD of additive fame. That's me. I make this stuff. That's why I know how to cook it. So we carry on with our cooking. Let's get back onto the onions. You can smell the onions are looking good. So I'm going to introduce my carrots, because that is the next hardest vegetable in this. Okay. So in we go. It's already sliced and diced. You must remember I'm African. So the beauty of being African is this. When we look at any food product, we look to maximize on its energy potential. So my carrots, I didn't peel them. I don't need to. The skin is part of the beauty. In fact, I would argue that the skin is probably the most productive part of the carrot, believe it or not. Of course, unless you want carrot juice, which is a different thing entirely. And I'm not looking for carrot juice. I'm looking for carrot itself as a vegetable. So in it goes with the onions. Keep on sauteing it while quickly stirring away at this pork. Now this is where I'm probably going to need a helping hand, because as I said, I am not a meat eater. So even though I know what my pork should be saying, I cannot guarantee for my own self that it is ready. But what I can do is, I can ask someone to taste it for me. Please, my dear lady. Thank you. What about you, Mr. Gentleman? Do you want to have a go?
How you doing, my friend? Thank you.
Does that feel cooked?
Feels beautiful.
Is it cooked? If it's cooked, I can take this dish off ready and start my next version of pork. So, for that I will need my magic plate, which is here. Piff, paff, poof. My plate is here. Let's get this out of the way because we finished using that one for now. I will lay a bit of this sweet and pork on here. Lovely, there it is. So that's our sweet tongue pork. I know what I'll need if I want to make this effective. Thank you very much, my dear lady. I like that. Did you hear that? I smell delicious. Actually, it's the food she's smelling, not me. Close second, innit? Right. So, we shall take the rest of the sweet tongue pork and put it at the side, otherwise our plate will be too overloaded. And then in typically chef fashion, would you like to try some?
Absolutely.
Please go ahead. Take a piece and then go. In typically African style now, I will quickly wash off my pan and prepare it ready for my next piece of dish, which is again going to be another style of pork. This time, as I said, we're going to attack the nyama game version of pork to give us a different flavor to the same pork. And here we go. Tip top, bang it on. Voila! Let's get that heat back on. While we're at it, let me wash my spoon. Why am I washing my spoon? Because I explained I am not a meat eater. So, for example, when I've done finished cooking and any of my customers, as it were, are not meat eaters, they won't like to have a contaminated piece of couscous. That's what it is. As you can see, I'm slowly getting myself together. Next on the vegetable list comes my broccoli, flowering broccoli this is, so that's traditionally local to the area, as well as mushrooms. While the mushrooms and broccoli are going on and doing their thing, this is what we're talking about. Look at those vegetables, huh? So while all of that is happening, I will cheat and use a fresh tomato, which is what you should use now. Don't try this at home. Remember, I'm African. You're not African like me. So if you're cutting your vegetables, please use the chopping board. Don't worry about me. This is my gimmick. This is what I do. I can do my vegetables, and in fact, a lot of chefs squinch when they see me working, because how can you do that? Well, easily. It's the technique I was taught, which is self-taught. And as you can see, I just run through my tomato, and incredibly enough, look, it is all perfect cubes, ready in my food. And some more frying we go. In the meantime, I believe the pan should be hot now, so I can start processing my next pork dish, which is straight away here. We're using extra virgin Year Valley rapeseed oil. Rapeseed oil is very good. It's high in omega-3, which is very nice. Why? Because it is omega oil, which is brought traditionally in by fish, but hey, imagine that. Our friend rapeseed actually carries that content. So in we pop our next version of pork, which is the Nyama Game version. And up we go again. Again, just as we done with the one before, we're going to fry this. Remember, I'm just trying to give people an ideology of how to work with my spices. You know? Can you smell that now? There you are. So
could you use this with chicken as well?
hey, my spices are like me, multi-dextrous. That means that even though I look like this in winter, in summer, I also look like this. And in spring, and in autumn. That's like my spices. It's another way of me telling you that if you have an active imagination, if you're a foodie, literally with my spices, think of it this way. One carrot, and if you have all my spice range, you could end up with a carrot that is tasting 20 different styles. Why? Because that's what it's all about. We're trying to create flavor. We're trying to gain something out of all of this. And what is that? A new way of presenting our food. So here we are. We're still frying away. I feel so embarrassed. Please, my man, come and have another show. I don't want you to feel lonely.
Thank you. Thank you.
And like I say, I can't eat it because what a dummy I am. I'm a vegetarian. There's something wrong with me. But off I go. So we're still working with our Nyama Game spice here, working it into our pork. Now look, in comparison, I want to show you something. In comparison to the sweet tang pork, look at how the Nyama Game pork looks like. So you see, again, we're taking things to a different degree, trying to make things more exciting than normal. How are you getting on with that spice? Is that spice?
Flesh.
Good. Because the whole idea to spice, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to know, is not about flames. It's not about heat. It's about the art of creating flavor. And yes, of course, you can bring in heat, but you have to be intelligent about it. Imagine if I went to the Eskimo land where there's all snow, just like that. I'd end up like an ice cube because I'm not acclimatized. So in the same way with spice, when you're dealing with spice, don't just attack it like you're me, because you're not. Deal with it like yourself, which means gently. Go about it gently. Introduce it gently and taste as you're cooking. Otherwise, you will really miss the heavenly glory. Right, so off I continue. While I'm continuing, I'm looking at my veg here. My veg is looking pretty awesome. I've got to ask one question. Please, can I have some salt?
That was a question, was it?
That was a question. I did say, I've got to ask one question. Please, can I have some salt?
I've seen pepper, but not salt.
I think salt was on flag.
No, it's because the couscous, being that it is a wheat, will need, enhancing. Otherwise, we won't miss the point to it. Thank you very much. Yes, we can do that. Salt is salt. We've got salt here. So what we're going to do is get it in there lightly. This should give our couscous the flavor that it needs, otherwise it's just going to be bland. While all of that is going on, I'm still on my Yama game fork. Can you have a look at that, ladies and gentlemen? It is sizzling, I'm telling you. My God, the pork smells so good. Sometimes I forget who's smelling, me or it. But the flavors are just so delicious. So, it would appear to me like this pork is ready. I'm just going to make sure of that. As you can see, I'm not a vegetarian, but you can see very nicely the whole thing
That's
is white.
cooked.
I am going to do my usual tastering.
Thank you.
And if I can get my other polite gentleman to try my Yaman game pork. There you are. So there's my Yaman game pork also done and dusted, which I will later, without spilling it, that is. So here we are. So far we've done 2 dishes of pork, and finally the third one is coming. And if I've got this timing correct, you know what? As it finishes, my couscous should be ready. But I always say that, and sometimes I do get it wrong. In those days I used to be 6 years old, but now I'm 7, so I don't get it wrong anymore. So off we go. We wash the pot again. Why? Because we don't want the cross-contamination element. We want to be able to taste every individual spice that we have used on these dishes, so that we have a recognition, if you like, for what does each specific spice do. So, there we are, nice and washed again. Let's set it up again on the fire. Voila! And we're ready for our next dish. In the meantime, I will get my couscous, which, as I said, how did I prepare this? I took ordinary couscous, boiled a kettle of hot water, placed my couscous in there dry, took my water, and if I can just demonstrate this, let us say that that is the level that I had done for the couscous. What we wanted to do and ensure is that when the couscous or the water hits the couscous, it doesn't go above half an inch to an inch. Then just cover it. It will do its own thing. Because it is wheat, it will swell up, do all, and it's couscous, so it's easy to cook off. Forget all of that stuff of boiling it on the cooker. You're wasting time. Ah, my God. Okay, so in comes my couscous. Into my veg. I know, it looks rough. I'm rough too, but I know what I'm doing. And slowly but gently, all we're doing now, literally, is fusing the couscous with the various veg to create, as it were, what would appear like a fantastic dish. I say it appear because that's what it does to you guys, and I'm the one doing the tasting, so sorry I can't help you. You gotta buy your own. Or come and see me when I'm doing my next taster. I'll give you a taste. So, that is all happening. While that's happening, I start off my final pork dish, which is going to be my caramel jerk pork.
Now I'm liking the sound of that.
Ah, she likes the sound of that. I like it when they say I like the sound of that. That means I'm doing something spectacular. Oh, well, that's what I like to think. Here we are, my caramel jerk pork. Again, you can see, completely different from what we've got. In we go into the hot fat, and let's get it happening. Voila! So that's that. Let me get this out of our way so that we have got a good... Yeah, see? I'm not just a smart guy, eh? I'm a smart guy. Yeah, that's what I mean. While I'm bragging, of course, you realize I didn't put in quite as much fat as I could have. So I'm just going to give it a little zing extra. You don't want this to stick on the pan. Why? Because no one likes washing pans that have got food stuck on them. That's what it is.
We got a lot of them at home.
Oh, no, I ain't got none of those at home. Oh, no. Ooh. So off we go. This is our final pork dish here. Can you smell me? I mean, can you smell the pork? Can you smell the pork?
I can, it smells delicious.
So there's another one. Seems like today I'm on a delicious run. My God! I like being me sometimes. This is one of those days when I like being me. And it's not easy being me either. Okay. So off we go. I'm frying away. Eat your heart out, Ainsley Harriott. No, don't eat your heart out. It's guys like those that taught me how to feel confident on stage. Is this a stage? Sounds like it to me.
No, you're on Facebook Live.
Facebook Live, imagine that. So back to the couscous, as you can see, I'm still making it happen. Remember, the couscous has been standing since I put water in it, so it is no longer hot. And the whole purpose of this here is to fuse it up, to bring back the heat. But remember that my actual heat that I'm working with on the couscous is number 2. So I don't need to do it any higher than number 2. All it has to do is, once the vegetables have been cooked, slowly bring up the heat in the couscous, which hopefully should make everyone say, oh my God, this boy, you know what he's doing? In which case I'll say, of course I does. Which makes me look like I know what I'm doing, even though I do know what I'm doing. So off we continue. Now I want to also discuss something else. I know that I explained that when I was marinating my various pork, I used straight cut my additive spice fusions. Now there was no need whatsoever to add salt. Why? Because unless the packet says saltless, there's already salt in the fusion. And this is how some of you guys are hurting yourselves up, by using extra salt. You don't need extra salt. And if you do, at least wait until you taste what you put together before you use the extra salt, okay? That's always something nice to remember. If you don't remember that, what will happen is you'll end up salting yourself so much, which is really not fair on you. You made yourself a food, you want to enjoy it, you don't want to, end up drinking pints of water because A, it's too spicy. Actually, there's nothing wrong with being too spicy, as long as you know that spiciness means a collection of various herbs that are dry and fused together. The way you guys say spicy, you make me scared. Every time I go out there, they say, hey, you're the spice man. How hot is this? I don't want to hear that. What I want to hear is, hey, you're the spice man. How spicy, how flavor-filled is this? Got it? Good. So next time I meet any of you guys and you tell me, how hot is this? I'm going to send you to Facebook so you can watch this here video and come to me correctly asking how flavorsome is my particular spice that I'm putting on offer for you. Good. So we carry on. Look at that couscous. Just look at that. Look at that. Do you see what I'm talking about? Eh? Look at that. My God. Eh? I can't believe it's been just sitting here waiting to be eaten. Yes, indeed it has. Let me finish off my caramel jerk style pork, which I believe it should be ready. Let me just check it out as I always do. My God, look! Look! Fantastic! Please, my taster. Please, my taster.
Please do the back up man.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
How did that work? Did I hear someone say? My God! So, the pork is ready. I have been notified by my tasterers. So what I do now is I segregate these in a rather food segregation. Don't get it twisted now. Come on. So, okay, we segregate it in a food tasting way. We get some of this couscous on this plate, like so. I tell you, being African, I'm not necessarily the best one at plating up. But you know, I'm learning. Right.
You know they tell you off on MasterChef, don't you?
Oh, they would not tell me off on MasterChef because I'm a bush chef. There's a difference, you know. MasterChef, yeah, sometimes I think that that's a bit over the top, you know. Come on. I know it's good to see food that looks nice, but I tend to say it's even better to taste food that tastes nice.
Absolutely, I
Never
agree
mind
with
the
you.
looks. So, there's my couscous in the middle. And then finally, let me introduce my caramel jerk. Look at that. Just look at that. Huh? Look at that. I got a question to ask. My question is, why don't you guys make your food look like good? Oh yeah, I know why. Because you're not using additive spice rubs. Well, now you know. Additive spice rubs gets you proper food to look like that. And here we are, finally. The last dish. And as I say, that's my 3-way pork with couscous. Booyah! Voila! Ladies and gentlemen, there's my dish. Look at that. Yazoo!
Now, where can we buy your spices?
Now, the spices that I presented to you, first port of call, I'm right now in Tavram Farm Shop. As it says on my Facebook actually, so first port of call, you need these spices, please come down to Tavram Farm Shop. You've got lovely members of staff here, they'll be more than willing to help you, and if you keep your eye open, I'll be back every month to do something spectacular using these spices. So that's Tavram Farm Shop. Alternatively, Beeston Farm Shop, which is also Beeston, just outside the city, I would suggest. There's another place you can get the same things. Again, different farm shops will sell different versions of my product. Versions to suggest not my entire range. Different ranges work in different areas. So please do ask. Of course, you know that I'm also on Facebook as well as Twitter. You can get hold of me on there. I've got a website as well. Everything is additive. If it's additive, it's all me. Additive. Look across my belly. My God. You'd think that I really planned that out. So yeah, there you are. And then finally, but not leastly, you can also get certain meats pre-prepared for you. By this, I'm talking about, check my butcher, Hazel's Butcher. There's something called an African barbecue pack. Yeah, that's right. I made this. Good. If you can't get to Hazel's Butchers, try Archers. No Archers, try Coxford's. Not Coxford's, try Icarus Hines. I can't hold it back, me. Just ask, it. Get on my Facebook and just write me something and say, where can I get your stuff? I'll be more than willing to help you. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Raibu Kuru Adepi Fame. All done.